Yes, peace and blessings. Now, there's this fictitious doctrine out here that we can't follow God's laws because there's just so many of them. There's 613 laws and they're just so difficult to follow, and we just can't keep all of God's laws. Now, let me tell you something. When we walking in the spirit, we are going to be keeping God's laws, most of these laws. You know, some things we have to study to know these laws, but we will walk in these laws, and they're not too hard to keep. You know, a lot of times people just want to do their own thing. You know, people want to walk and play around on the Sabbath, or people want to commit fornication, or people want to, just do what they want to do. They want to eat pork and lamb chops and all this stuff. And so they say, oh, because of Jesus, we don't have to keep them all God's laws, but, and nobody can do it. Nobody can. Yeah. Scripture does say everybody falls short. I've fallen short. Everybody is. And if I didn't, I wouldn't be a man like everybody else, or everybody other than the Messiah, Yeshua, Jesus the Christ, everyone's falling short. But the thing is, we're not supposed to take that. Just like if you have your own child and they might break one of your rules, and then, throughout the course of their life, they've probably broken plenty of your rules. That doesn't mean they don't have to follow your rules. They have to, apologize or do whatever they have to do. You might punish them or whatever, but that doesn't mean they shouldn't have rules and laws. God has laws, and God says, in the first book of Luke, he's talking about John the Baptist's parents. So we have Zacharias and his wife Elizabeth, and it says they were both righteous before God. This is Luke 1:6. They were both righteous before God, walking in all the commandments and ordinances of the Lord, blameless. Come on. If Zacharias and Elizabeth could do it, both of them were just keeping the law. They were righteous people walking and keeping the laws. And they had a blessed child. So don't let anyone say that, America has over 30,000 laws. America has 30, and nobody says you can't keep the laws. You can't keep American law. They don't say that. They say follow the laws, be a good citizen, follow the laws, even though there's 30,000. So there's not even 613 laws. That's a myth that we all have to follow. But there's not too many laws. It's not too hard to follow. We can keep the Sabbath. We cannot fornicate. We cannot lie. We can do all these things. Just walk in the spirit and study so you know what we're supposed to follow. Don't believe the myths. Even Christ says, if you want to enter into life, keep the commandments. Bless.